Hi everyone, it's Katie back with another episode of my vlog. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about what the experience of the stroke dimension combined with the coronavirus lockdown has meant for our family and specifically for Sean in his stroke recovery efforts. I said when we first started this lockdown, 53 days ago? Ouch, it's been a while, guys. I said, we've been doing the whole stay home thing since Sean had a stroke. So we're pretty much experts at it, and we know how to be in our house, and we know how to spend a lot of time with each other without driving each other crazy. We're pretty good at the whole stay home thing. But the thing that has become apparent to me over the course of the last 53 days is how important going out was for us, even though we were basically stay home people before anyhow. Sean had gotten to the point in his recovery where he was really trying to actively use his walker in public spaces. Obviously, walking around in a crowded public space full of people is way different and way, way more challenging than walking laps with the walker in the safe space of our house or the physical therapist's office, right? So his PT had challenged him several months ago to start trying to get out there more, do more things out of the house, and specifically not use his wheelchair and only use his walker. And so we had just gotten to the point where Sean was feeling okay with, walking into a restaurant and sitting down instead of having to use a wheelchair, or walking into the movie theater and sitting down, basically right when the lockdown happened. I think we got to go see one movie or maybe two without using the wheelchair before that happened. And so, he's high risk as an ex-ventilator patient. I'm not letting him come in contact with anyone. And so he just basically has stayed home for 53 days. We've had a couple of little walks out of the house where we've gone down our street and back 2 blocks maybe, but that's it. And of course, not having to deal with other people being in the space that he's walking in makes it way less challenging for him. But obviously, we're not going to go to some crowded place and walk around, During the virus pandemic is not the time to walk laps at the mall. So that's particularly sucked. It was only a couple times a week that we were getting out before, but not getting out at all. And specifically not having Sean get out because, of course, I'm doing errands and things like that. It's really made his recovery a little bit more challenging, a lot more challenging. Psychologically, just having that break of being able to go somewhere, but also being able to do those challenges and, really stretch himself and try to do new things in public. The way the whole stroke recovery thing works is he's got to try to do something, have a hard time at it, and then his brain kind of goes, oh, right, this is how I'm supposed to do it. And then the next time he tries it, he's that much better at it. And so it's like this chain of increasing successes. And each one creates a feedback loop where he goes, oh, wow, that was easier than I thought it was going to be. And I go, yeah, next time let's try doing this thing instead. And now, because of the pandemic lockdown, we've broken that chain, at least in public. He's still increasing his exercise every day. His PT is challenging him to add new exercises all of the time. So he is increasing the challenge level and meeting those increased challenges, but it's all within the confines of our house, which is a pretty limited space with limited stuff going on. And it's just, it's not creating as much of a actual challenge for him as he would have going out in the world, going to restaurants, going to movies, what have you. So that's been a big negative. The other one that has been pretty weird is we've been, of course, doing the physical therapy and occupational therapy appointments via telemedicine, which is, what everyone's having to do that needs a doctor's appointment right now. Sean actually had to switch physical therapists also because his PT got called into the hospital to work with coronavirus patients. And so, he got thrown from in-person physical therapy with someone he'd been working with for a year Suddenly brand new physical therapist, and we're having to do it remotely. I walk around the living room with my tablet, following him and, being the cameraman so that his physical therapist can watch him walking and give him, corrective feedback and new challenges to do and stuff like that. So, you do what you can in the lockdown situation, but telemedicine PT has basically sucked. We spend a third of our appointment having technical difficulties and having to reconnect the video. It's not great. Again, we'll do what we got to do, but that's the way that this is kind of, like extra sucked on top of all the other suck of having stroke recovery and a pandemic situation going on. The cool news is Sean has made a lot of progress on his drawings. He's also made a lot of progress on walking. I don't want to downplay that at all. He is, his form walking looks much better than it did before, and his stamina is much better than it was before. So that's great. But drawing improvements, yay! Obviously, we're really excited about that. It's still a huge struggle. It's still a really big challenge. And every time he sits down to draw, it's hard. He has to concentrate, and his hand still is not doing what he wants it to do. And that's hard. That's really hard, just from a day-to-day trying to hammer away at it and get better at it standpoint. And it's hard from a, emotional, psychological, mental health standpoint. I mean, it sucks. Sean used to be able to just draw anything with no effort, and now he struggles really, really hard to even do something like that's rough stroke art. So that's been super challenging. But when I look at where he was at with his art, a year ago, compared to where he's at now, he has made so much progress. And the ideas are flowing like nonstop. And so he's been doing actually these really cool digital collages, because he's got, the ideas come faster than his hand can do the drawings, obviously. And so he's actually been showing them first on his Patreon, and then he's been posting them on his other social media channels. And they're really cool. It's like Dungeon Degenerates content, but if you made everything out of a digital collage of photos of other things put together to make these cool images. So you guys follow Sean on social media, right? You've seen it, but go check him out if you haven't. But I also wanted to show you guys his current sketchbook drawings, because they're so cool. He's been doing, we've got the Monster Drawing Club going, and he's been keeping up with that. So I'm not going to do a full flip through, because that's kind of takes a while. But I wanted to show you a few selected. I love this orc. He is so cool. And let's see what else we've got here. Oh, of course, the troll. Love this guy. So you can see that's from March. This is still a month and a half ago. And you can watch him progressing over time. It's so cool. We had Spider as the monster one of the days, and I love the spider, but I really particularly love the web that he did up there at the top. I told him today it reminded me of that science experiment where people gave different drugs to spiders, and I can't remember if it was like the caffeine web or what, but one of them looked like that, which I think is pretty cool. Let's see. Oh, I cracked up when he showed me this like worried alien. I really dig this character a lot. And we've got, let's see. Oh, a harpy, of course, part of our Monster Drawing Club again. If you want to keep up with Monster Drawing Club, that's on the Dungeon Degenerates Instagram. Sean's been posting every week on Mondays a list of 7 monsters to draw over the course of the next week. So harpy was one of them, and I love this drawing. I love the energy of it. I love the composition. It's a great drawing. Let's see, I got one more here for you before I put the sketchbook away. Couldn't pass up this awesome Naga that he drew. Pretty crazy, right? That's a huge improvement from what we were seeing before. And then the other cool thing that he has been doing art-wise is a number of people have actually commissioned him to do stroke drawings. They want to support him as an artist, which is awesome. Thank you. And also they want to have a piece of this art, which is, if you think about it, it's limited time only because he's moving through this phase. And so he's at this, everything is very shaky, but it's got a lot of emotion and really cool compositional stuff going on. So like I said, a couple of people have commissioned him to do drawings for them, and he actually did one today. I'm going to show you the finished drawing first, and we actually made a time lapse. So I'm going to put the time lapse so you can see him do the drawing at the end of this video. But someone asked for a portrait of Dee Dee Ramone. So that is the drawing that Sean did this morning. I love it. I love the energy there. He found it frustrating. It's difficult, but wow, look at that drawing, right? I think it's amazing. So, if any of you want to commission a stroke drawing, I asked him what the procedure was, and he said just email him. He's sean@goblinco.com. So if you're interested, go ahead and get him that way, and, let's see what his hand produces while it's not in the state he wants it to be in, but it's still doing some really cool stuff, right? All right. I will see you guys in a few days for my Shibori tutorial. I'm going to say bye now, but we're going to stick that time-lapse video on the end of this one so you guys can check out how Sean made that awesome drawing of Dee Dee Ramone. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.